usual
Vamos a ver,
spot, sorry about stealing your
podcastito.
seat, is Jeff.
I warmed it up for you.
Yeah.
Everyone loves sitting on a warm chair.
Okay, well,
Podcastito
thanks a lot, Jeff.
de Xbox One
you can not do that next
con
time. That's
Coalition.
cool.
Vamos a ver si acá hay
Joining us
algo de
today,
información.
besides Marcus Phoenix, which I'm very glad to have here, is a couple of folks that I've gotten to work alongside for quite some time.
10 years or more that we worked together.
Neither of us have aged in
not
the slightest.
Not a day. Yeah.
This was always here and always so great.
Oh, ahí está Mike
Crump and
Crump.
Kate Rayner, thanks for joining
Estudio
us in the
Head de
studio for the first
Coalition.
time.
Primera vez
Thanks
que
for
da la
having us.
cara, ¿eh?
Do you want to tell us about like what you do at the Coalition, since you all have been there since it was become called the Coalition?
Sure, yeah. So I'm the studio head of the Coalition. That basically means I'm responsible for everything that happens in the studio, everything to do with Gears of War. I've been at the studio for 15
Qué
years
buena gente
now,
el Mike
which is
Crump.
pretty hard to believe. And yeah, long before it was actually even called the Coalition. Yeah.
Cool.
Black Dot
I'm the
Studio.
studio
claro.
technical director at the Coalition. I oversee all the engineering, all of the technical implementation of all of our games. I've been also with the Coalition for a long time, 14 years, not quite 15, but through all the work that we've done with the Gears franchise at the Coalition, and I've been
O sea, estos güeyes han
in this
estado
industry
ahí
for almost
desde
30
que se
years.
fundó casi
And
casi.
you have like a really interesting, like hard to achieve, like technical designation here at the company, don't you?
Yes, yeah,
Not to embarrass you, but
No,
I
not
mean,
at all. I'm a technical fellow at Microsoft, and so that is, it's a great honor and just sort of represents the technical work I've done for Xbox and in my industry.
Now,
Digo, dura
Gears is
15
back
minutos, a ver
in
si
a
sale algo.
big way. EDay was announced
A ver,
last
EDay.
year to a huge response. It's obvious Gears fans, they're ready for more Gears.
Claro que
And
estamos
now
listos.
you're going back to the game that started it all with Gears of War Reloaded and bringing it to more people and more platforms.
Yeah, that's right. Gears is going multi-platform for the first time. So of course, Xbox and PC, but PlayStation 5 for the first time ever. Super exciting for us.
and Steam as well.
And Steam.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the original game had never come out.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about that. Like, we know Gears is like a foundational Xbox
Gears of War 3
franchise for the last 20 years, but
Jo.
now a lot more people are going to get to play. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, well, like Gears is going to hit its 20th anniversary next year, which is probably a little bit hard to believe. I don't know if you guys remember where you were in
Again, we haven't aged
2006.
in the slightest,
No,
as
of
I
course not.
mentioned.
Yeah, when Gears
Casualmente,
came out.
el primer
but,
trailer se llamaba
I was
Emergency
pretty
Day.
early in my career in video games, and I remember when Gears came out and just how much of an impact it had on the whole industry. And so, yeah, like bringing back the original game and bringing it to more players and more platforms than like ever before felt like the perfect way to celebrate 20 years of Gears.
Kate, it sounds like this will be a definitive version of the original game. So let's dig into that. Is it a remake or a remaster?
Or full credit to Jake Baldino of GameRanks, is it a remakester, as he used for Oblivion?
Right. Well, it's fully
Okay.
remastered and enhanced to take advantage of modern hardware. Going back to the
remaster,
original,
lo
we've
nombran
increased the
remaster.
resolution by 900%, 9x, and doubled the frame rate. Campaign running at 60 frames
Pero
per
lo
second
comparan con el
now,
juego
and
original.
multiplayer supporting 60 as well as 120 frames
Bueno,
per second.
120
We
cuadros por
support
segundo
variable
multijugador y
refresh
todo eso.
rate. We support native high dynamic range lighting. And we've also unlocked 4K assets and ultra resolution textures
Okay,
that were not in
Ultimate
the original
Edition.
console versions of the game. We have 7.1.4 3D spatial audio.
Se
and
ve
we've
una
improved the
nitidez,
lighting, the
se ve una
shadows,
capa de
and
nitidez
reflections, and
interesante, güey.
really have pushed the quality of this title to be a full remaster on every device that it's shipping on.
It's like a checklist of things that did not exist in 2006
Yeah,
that
exactly,
like a modern game
exactly.
needs to have, and now Gears of War Original gets to have that.
Absolutely.
And you have examples to show us, right?
We do.
All right, so what are we looking at here? We have we're
en
going back
gameplay.
20 years pretty
That's
much. here,
right. Yeah. I mean, you can see here
Se ve terrible.
this is Embry.
Es el Gears of War original.
It's early on in the first act. You can see, the 1280, 720, 30 frames per second version that shipped in on the Xbox 360, the 1080p version for Xbox One with Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And then we have the reloaded version, running at full 4K with 60
Güey, y
frames
yo
per
siento que
second.
desenfocan un
And you can see a
poco a
lot of detail
propósito la
here
versión
from
de
the
Ultimate
enhancements
Edition.
that we have.
No hay
You can
manera que se
see,
vea
like,
así como medio
the
blureado,
carbon
¿no?
fiber in Marcus's armor. You can see the enhanced texture details with the normal maps and the 4K
Claramente,
textures in
digo,
the
hay
environment.
mejoras, obviamente. Las
And you can
texturas
also see the
4K y todo.
reflections off the pond, right? And those reflections are real time. So if there's a battle scene happening in frent of you, you'll see all those reflections happening.
Seems like in
Habría
back
que
on
checar si de
360,
verdad se ve
and,
así.
and we love 360. It's funny how, like, when you look back at this,
Excavando
like,
las migajas de hoy. Así
like
es.
when I look at the reloaded
Yeah.
version, it's like, that's what the games always look like, right? But then when you see things and you're able to see side by side, like, I didn't realize the sun was out in this scene originally because, but then it seems much more obvious the way the shadows are casting onto the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, the resolution of the shadows, the sampling of it. We've always been a game that takes full advantage of whatever hardware we
Sí,
ship
es que está
on. And this
cabrón.
is
O sea, siempre
absolutely
ha
what
sido un
we've done
juego
with,
Gears of
the
War que
current
aprovecha al
generation of hardware.
máximo
Yeah,
el
the
motor,
color
güey.
immediately stood out to me.
Yeah.
Just being able to see the foliage and everything. Amazing.
All right, here's a scene from very early on in the game. Let's talk about the enhancements here.
Yeah, here you can see Marcus in the slab. And, this thing is running at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second. And you can see the incredible boost in fidelity from our 4K ultra resolution textures, the higher res normal maps, the incredible detail in
Se ve
the
bien.
lighting. You can zoom in
Ya
to
puedes
any
reservar en
part of
Play.
this image.
Ya se
and
podía, ¿no?
all this detail shows up that's simply non-existing
Ya se puede reservar en
on
todos lados.
the older versions of the game. There's a lot of contrasts and vibrancy in this image. And in HDR, like the fire and the brightness in the sky in the background really pop and stand out on modern television.
Yeah, 10 years ago, no one was really talking about HDR all that,
Yeah,
all that
it's
much.
true. Yeah. I mean, this is a native HDR remaster, and the original was SDR.
So were there any features you were able to bring to the remaster that you weren't able to in the original, or even in the original from 10 years ago with Gears of War Ultimate Edition,
A ver,
due to like
cosas que no
technical
tiene
limitations?
el Ultimate
Yeah, for
Edition.
sure. I mean, we fully replaced and modernized the back-end online services. for
Mira, el
this game.
multijugador, ahí
That
se ve.
includes taking our dedicated servers for our versus multiplayer and expanding the data center coverage across the globe so everyone can have the
Mira,
most low
se ven
latency gameplay
diferente.
experience.
Digo, es una mamada, güey, pero cambiaron el color azul de esto. Según yo, no es este tono de azul, ¿no?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we fully replaced
A ver,
and
estoy
modernized
con lupa, ¿vale? Estoy recogiendo migajas, pero ese tono de azul es diferente.
the back-end online services for this game. That
Dice que
includes
están modernizados
taking our dedicated servers
los servidores,
for
¿eh?
our versus multiplayer and expanding the data center coverage across the globe so everyone can have the most low latency gameplay experience possible. We've taken those dedicated
Si hay un poquito de menos latencia, a lo mejor se va a sentir mucho más fluido, ¿no? El movimiento y todo eso.
game servers, and we've sped them up from 30 hertz to 60 hertz, sort of further reducing the latency. That's so important for Twitch-based
Igual
shooter
jugarlo a
kind of
120
multiplayer
cuadros se va a
gameplay.
sentir muy
With
diferente, güey.
skills-based matchmaking, and we've also added cross-platform play,
A ver, ¿qué dijo?
reducing the latency.
Reduciendo aún más la
That's so
latencia.
important for Twitch-based shooter kind of multiplayer gameplay. We have skills-based
Basado en
matchmaking, and we've also
Sistema de
added cross-platform
emparejamiento,
play
agregar un juego
and cross-platform
multiplataforma.
progression for
visión
every single
cruzada.
platform that we're shipping on.
Yeah, so important for multiplayer, especially in a game where really one shot is live or die off the Nasher.
Mhm.
One of the things that we were talking about backstage before we started is also servers in new places and including in Latin America and in
Van a poner servidores.
Mexico, because
Yeah.
I know, having been to a Gears event in Mexico, like this is a country that loves Gears, so I really love.
Brother, esto puede seguir en EDay. Servidores dedicados en México, güey. Ya no de que en Estados Unidos, en Texas, Dallas y Latinoamérica te llevan a Brasil, cabrón.
Yeah, and we
Really love
love, our players in Latin America, and something we wanted to do was really ensure that we have
Ok, eso es
the
bueno,
best
güey.
possible experience in that area of the world. So now we have expanded data centers in Mexico that we've just lit up. So we'll have more data center coverage for Latin America. We
Woohoo!
also have, Brazil and other parts of LATAM.
So we also
Yeah.
we talked about
Eso me gusta,
obviously
chingada
the influx
madre.
of players from Steam and from PS5 joining Xbox fans with Gears Reloaded and certain folks learning the business end of an Asher, I'm sure for the very first time. But everyone gets to play together. Can you just talk about cross-play and just like kind of how exciting it is that people will be able to co-op together and do all these
Yeah,
things
well, that's
together?
just it, right? The ability to bring players from all those platforms to play together simultaneously.
Güey, estoy 100% seguro que ese color azul es diferente. O sea, sí refinaron ciertas cosas, ¿eh?
Is something we've never done in Gears of War before. And so, yeah, we're really excited about that opportunity. We think Gears as a franchise is about
Prodigy.
bringing people together. It's about bringing friends together, and it always has been. And we're just expanding that now.
So is cross progression across PC, Xbox,
Bueno,
Yes.
All
creo.
platforms.
PlayStation?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can basically pick up on one platform and play and drop. Yeah.
With the modernizing of
Me
our
mama
backend
eso.
online services, you can play across any device. So if you're playing on Xbox and then you switch on to Steam, your progression will move with you,
Todo
right?
se
So
guarda,
you're
güey.
progressing campaign.
O sea, puedes estar jugando en tu Xbox y si ¿sabes qué, güey? Voy a Steam, o estás jugando la campañita en Steam y luego el multijugador a lo mejor lo juegas en Xbox y luego de repente dices, ¿sabes qué, güey? Pues estoy en casa de mi compa, güey, pones tu cuenta y él tiene Play. O sea, todo muy bien.
Or
Todo tu
your
progreso.
multiplayer versus level and rank.
O sea, más allá del
and what you've
crossplay, el cross
unlocked through
progression
gameplay will
también.
just
Eso
move with
es
you.
muy
So
bueno, güey.
if you play on PC and at home, and then you play on your gaming handheld when you're on your commute, you can just keep going.
And the good news is people are not going to have to wait very long before they get in there and get to start playing with and against each other.
Yeah, that's right. So this weekend, we're opening up a multiplayer beta across all the platforms that we support. It'll be this weekend and then the following weekend, so 2 weekends. And it's open to anybody that pre-orders the game. Also anybody that is a
Suscriptores al
Xbox
Game Pass, acá
Pass
se
Ultimate
confirma lo de la
subscriber or
beta.
PC Game
Para
Pass.
suscriptores del
Very
Game
good.
Pass,
Yeah.
PC y
All
todo
right.
eso.
It's excellent.
We're going to be playing next couple weekends.
That's
The plans
right.
are set. So over the years, I've become a little bit more of a PC poppy, if you will. I do love my frames, and I enjoyed Gears 5. Hivebusters also. Shout out to Hivebusters. I think it's some of the greatest work
Hivebusters
you all
is
have done.
awesome. Yep.
And actually, Gears
Muy
Tactics
bueno.
was great on PC as well. Of course, the Xbox version is Xbox Play Anywhere, so console and over on PC, and I love jumping back and forth. But with the game coming to Steam as well, what optimizations for PC are you looking at?
Yeah, well, this is certainly no PC port, right? We've optimized the game for what players expect on PC. We have uncapped frame rates. We have 4K, but also 5K, ultra wide resolution. We adapt the game to whatever
Pues dice que es
resolution of
ilimitado.
whatever device that you run on. We have quite a lot of work in scalability to be able to support all the different devices that are out there, including gaming laptops and PC gaming handhelds. We have super resolution that sort of has come to be expected by a lot of PC players with AMD Fidelity Effects FSR 3.1, NVIDIA's
Me están
DLSS
hablando en
deep learning
chino y no
super
tengo la menor idea.
sampling. We also have HDR. Another thing that we brought from Gears 5 and we've now put in this title is having a benchmark mode. So you can run the game against your rig and
Pero
see
no
how
hablan
it
de que vaya a
performs,
tener
and then
FOV.
go in and tune it with all the settings that we've exposed to really tune it for your rig. But we also detect your hardware and ensure that default settings are optimal for quality and performance out of the box.
Also heard you say handheld because 10 years ago, you couldn't, the idea of running Gears even on a laptop would have
Sure.
been darn near
Yeah.
impossible. But now the idea of being able to take it with noted. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have several flights ahead of me, so
Verga, güey.
you know,
O sea, literalmente puedes jugar Gears en todo, güey. Una
So,
cafetera, güey.
covered, but this is the official Xbox podcast, so we gotta talk about what Xbox players can expect.
Eso, chingada madre.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, everything that we've talked about already, there's so many features that just simply weren't possible on the original Xbox One or certainly the Xbox 360, like the 4K assets, the ultra resolution, HDR, the graphics improvements, really near instant load
Tiempos de
times.
carga
The load
casi
times in this game are
instantáneos.
10x faster than the original. We also have Dolby Vision, which is only available on Xbox Series X and S, which has richer colors and enhanced brightness. It's also worth noting that the 120 frames per second multiplayer and 60 frames per second modes are available on the Xbox Series S as well as the Xbox Series X. So we're not compromising as we really push all of the hardware in the Xbox Series lineup.
Small but mighty. And one thing that we
Bueno, lo
absolutely
normal.
cannot overlook
Yeah,
is
for sure.
especially for folks that picked up Ultimate Edition 10 years ago, you got a special treat, right?
That's right. So yeah, if you bought Gears of War Ultimate Edition digitally, you'll get Gears of War Reloaded for free.
That's
Digitalmente,
pretty awesome.
recalcó digitalmente.
Good.
Si
I like how
compraste
the
Gears of War
updates,
Ultimate
we
Edition
can't let you
digital,
go. That would be
tienes acceso
dereliction of
al
duty
Reloaded
if I was to let
gratis.
you go
Si lo
without
compraste físico, pues te la
asking
peladilla.
about Gears EDay. How's it going?
It's going well. Yeah, still in development, so I can't share a lot about EDay right now, and we certainly will have more to share in the future, but we're super passionate about EDay. We had a great reception last year when we announced the game at Showcase. The whole team felt the love from the Gears of War community when that trailer, aired. And honestly, it was an amazing moment inside the studio to hear Gears fans react to the direction that we're going, and very validating, and we're super excited to bring it to market.
So watch this space,
Watch
basically.
this space.
That's
There will be
right,
definitely
yeah.
more to
Estén
come on EDay.
atentos.
A lot
Yes.
more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is almost all the time we have for this episode, but wanted to get final
Pues
thoughts.
no se habló
Nate, Mike?
mucho más de lo que ya
Anything else you wanna
sabíamos.
tell
I
everyone?
just
Creo
tell
que lo
people
más
to sign up,
destacado.
pre-order now, and sign up for the beta. It's going next weekend, so not a lot of time.
Hay que inscribirse
I
a la
mean, we're just
beta.
so
no sé.
excited to like bring the game to more players,
Creo que
but
no.
really enhance the game on all of the devices that we're shipping on. And I think on the anniversary of the franchise,
Lo de los
being able to take
servidores
this
en LATAM,
iconic game
uf,
and deliver it
joyita.
like fresh and renewed and fully remastered is just something.
O sea, vamos a poder jugar el juego a
really been a
120
passion
cuadros por
project
segundo,
for the team.
con servidores dedicados
Yeah.
con menos
Kate and Mike
latencia
from
y
the Coalition,
además
thank
con
you so
servidores
much for
dedicados en
joining us.
LATAM, güey.
We're so excited
Eso sí,
to get
¿tú
our
sabes lo
hands on
tóxico que
Gears
va a
of War
ser ese
Reloaded.
servidor? Yo
Jeff,
sí, y estoy
thank
emocionado
you,
por probarlo.
for joining.
Yeah. No.
¡Let's go! Espero que en la beta esté activo el server, la verdad. ¡Qué grande! Si te gustó el video, no te olvides de suscribirte al canal, y si ya estás suscrito, no te olvides de picarle a la campanita para que te llegue una notificación cada vez que yo suba un video.